Good day, everybody. Scooter from Granville Guitars coming to you live from the Granville Guitars world headquarters here in lovely St. Petersburg, Florida. Today is November the 30th. No, it's not the 30th. It's the 29th. It's the 29th. It's Wednesday the 29th, 2017. I've come here today to, I've come here to work today. But in amongst all the work, I want to show off this new build that we've done for our good friend Jason Lefebvre, old friend of mine. Happy to build him a guitar. It was a lot of fun. Had a vision for this guitar, and it's turned out really fine. And just want to kind of show off the various features of it. It's got a swamp ash body, two-piece swamp ash body, all Dimarzio pickups, which I'll get to in a second here. It's got Fender American Standard Telecaster bridge on board, which I love personally. The true Telecaster tonality, the classic tonality, I really honestly feel comes from the three brass saddles, the vintage style three brass saddles. Compensated ones are better, obviously, but that's where the tone comes from, I think. But if accuracy in intonation and tuning is paramount, the American Standard bridge really is the gold standard to me. It sounds wonderful. It's durable. It doesn't hang up on your hand when you move your hand across it. It's real comfortable. I'm a big fan. Mounted in that bridge plate, we have a Dimarzio Area T615, which is a wonderful bridge pickup. Sounds very late 50s telly to me, and you'll hear it here in a few minutes. I really like it a lot. It sounds really great combined with other pickups too. In the middle, we have the Dimarzio Virtual Vintage 54 Pro, which is kind of an unusual choice, I think. But I really like it in the middle position. It's got a thing of its own that's really cool. And the neck pickup is a Dimarzio Steve Morse neck model. The reason I chose that is I feel like it's one of the few. I don't personally like coil cutting a humbucking pickup in order to achieve a single coil sound. It never sounds right. And there are good physical reasons why it can't sound right. It's indirectly magnetized, shorter coils, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch of reasons. But to me, although it's a nice sound, it's not a real single coil sound or a true single coil sound. I find that this Steve Morse neck model has the truest sound when it's cut to what a Telecaster neck pickup would sound like. It's the closest thing that I've found. And when combined with all these other pickups, we did a three-way Les Paul style switch, Danny Gatton style right here. And we've added a few things to make it a little more flexible. We have a master volume here. When you pull on the master volume, this inner coil is cut, and you're left with the outer coil active to allow you to get more strat telly kind of sounds up here when combined with the middle pickup. Now, you're asking me, how do I activate the middle pickup? Well, here you go. There's a pull switch underneath the tone control, and that activates the middle pickup in any of these positions. So the only pickup combination you can't get with this guitar is the middle pickup by itself. If we added another switch, we could do something like that, but wanted to keep it kind of like this. The middle pickup on here by itself is kind of real similar in tonality to these two combined. So it was a judgment call. I felt like this gave it enough flexibility on its own. So anyway, today I am plugged into my 69 Fender Pro Reverb amp, drip edge, restored by me a couple of years ago now, and quite frankly, the yardstick by which a lot of amps are measured, that and a Marshall JCM 800 to me are the two yardsticks of tone. Let's see, the controls. The bright switch is off. Volume is at 4. I've got the treble at about 4.5. Bass is at 3. Reverb, tremolo are off. We're not going to be doing any of the onboard effects. I just want you to hear the guitar in its purest state so you can get an idea what it sounds like. I've got my long-suffering serial number 85 copper drive-in line here for a little dirt. after a while. I'll demonstrate the various positions. Oh, about the neck. The neck is hard rock maple finished in vintage gloss, rosewood fretboard, medium jumbo frets, bone nut, and he wanted locking tuners on this. So we got these that he likes. They're made by Goto. They look for all the world like Clusons. One thing I do like about them is they have staggered posts, which eliminates the need for a string tree. But on a guitar with no vibrato system, I don't get the whole locking tuner thing. Doesn't matter. It's Jason's guitar. That's what he wanted. And they work really well. They look cool, and they work very fine. So if you're looking for something like that, I don't know how well you can see them in the video here, but go check them out. Goto. We got these from Philadelphia Lutherie Supply, I think. They have the thumb screws on the back. They don't have an internal locking mechanism. So you can get some kinds of brands, rather, of tuners that look like old-style Clusons, but the internal locking mechanism is not activated with a set screw. He wanted this thumb screw thing on there, so anyway. That's basically it for all the features. We got strap locks, Dunlop strap locks, always. The neck is mounted with the Bill Kirchen neck mod, which you can see more about on my blog over at WordPress, A View from the Granville Bench. Let's see what this bad boy sounds like, shall we? Here's the bridge pickup clean. Let's add the middle pickup to that. I should also mention at this point we're tuned to E flat, which is his preferred tuning. So if it sounds odd to you, if you're used to regular tuning, and it might. So anyway, we're tuned to E flat with Dimarzio strings. Now in the middle position with the middle pickup engaged, you're going to get all three. It starts to get thicker at that point, because this bridge, or the neck pickup, when it's in humbucking mode, is pretty thick. So let's deactivate the middle pickup, and we'll go to the neck pickup by itself, clean. Humbuckery sound, great for jazz stuff if you want. Now you can coil cut that with the volume control here. We add a little distortion to either of those, two completely different sounds on that pickup just by coil cutting, which is a lot of fun. Here it is, distortion added with it, humbucking. Here it is, coil cut. again, that's the neck pickup with the coil cut and a little distortion added. Now you'll hear some noise there. All three of these pickups are humbuckers. So the only non-hum canceling position on the guitar is when you're in the neck pickup and the coil is cut. You will get a little bit of, whether you can hear that. When you're clean, it's not a lot. When you add a distortion pedal or an overdrive, there's humbucking, there's neck pickup. You're going to get a little bit of noise. But in general, that's not a whole bunch. Okay, now in the middle position is where it kind of gets fun. Here's middle position. That's middle position with a humbucking neck pickup and the bridge pickup together. And you can add the middle pickup to that. It's kind of a classic telly sort of a sound. Now that's with the neck humbucking. If you cut that one, you get this. It's subtle. The differences are subtle, but within all of that, you get a whole bunch of fun going on. Now, the tone control. I'm not a big fan of tone controls in general. I find them to be just kind of inhibiting. They could be. I like to use that space for something else, like a mid booster or a gain booster or something different. On this guitar, I did do a passive tone control, but when I do have to do a passive tone control, I have a capacitor I like to use, and it's a lot of fun. The value that I use does not mess with mid-range at all, to the point where when it's fully back, it sounds almost like a cocked wah all the way back, particularly with a little bit of overdrive going. In its upper positions where you just start to roll it off, it's just going to tame some bite. It's not real bitey. This bridge pickup is nice and telly-ish, but it's not real bitey. But if you want to get rid of some of that, roll off the tone control a little bit. Notice no mid-range has been messed with. We're just taking away treble. Here comes that cocked wah thing. And if you add some distortion to that, just with the tone control. Same arrangement, I'm just going to turn the tone control all the way up. All the way off. And And that's on all pickups, so if you want to do that with the neck pickup, you can. The effect is probably more, it has less of an effect on the neck pickup because of the nature of the sound of this particular pickup. But you really when you use it on the neck pickup, you really key into what this control is doing. It's not messing with mid-range at all. It's set, the cutoff point on that cap is pretty high, so it's only rolling off treble, which is what you want out of a tone control. You want it to be useful. But the slope of this pot that I use is also important too, because it behaves like a tone control until the very end, and then it sounds like a cocked wah. And it's really no funny business. It's wired like a regular tele tone control. It's all down to the value of the capacitor, and that's what's really important. And to me, I've used dozens of caps over the years to do tone controls with. To me, the number that's important is not necessarily the capacitance, but it's the voltage. The lower the voltage, the better. I use a 100 volt. I want to say this right. Yeah, it's a 100 volt 0.01 microfarad capacitor. I've tried a bunch of different compositions over the years in terms of brands and what type and all that other sort of jazz. Doesn't seem to matter. 0.01, 100 volt. And it's the voltage that seems to matter the most in a guitar. And that would make sense because your signal is quite low voltage, very low, millivolts worth of signal coming out of this thing, even when you're smacking on it. So putting a 600 volt cap in this thing never did seem to make sense to me, and it really kind of doesn't. So anyway. And it gives you that fun sound. Let's add in the middle pickup to that. Really get some stratty kind of sounds that way. You do the same thing with the neck pickup too. Cut the neck pickup and add the middle pickup. It's a little early yet. I haven't had enough coffee for that one. You understand, don't you? Be one of my favorite sounds on this guitar. That's the neck humbucking with the middle pickup added. Anyway, that kind of gives you a basic feel for the Granville Bugs is what we're calling this guitar. I didn't mention that, I don't think. Calling it Bugs because it's stained a gray color that looks a little like Bugs Bunny. And yeah, it's got the white on there, so the gray and the white together kind of made sense to call it Bugs. Anyway, this guy will be going out FedEx probably tomorrow, and it's going off to our good friend Jason LaFave, where he will probably enjoy it, I hope. If you have any questions about anything we do here at Granville Guitars, seek us out on the web at www.granvilleguitars.com. Find us on Facebook, or go and check out the blog over on WordPress, A View from the Granville Bench. I'm loving this bridge pickup. Dig it. That's all I know for today, folks. Have a good one.